My name is Georgios, and today I will be sharing with you why I decided to go to Barcelona as a Greek software engineer to learn more about bachata from the best, and of course to learn more about the Spanish language. I will give you a few tips on how to get and where to get a place to stay, to which parties and to which workshops you can go, and then a little bit more about living in Barcelona. So this is my experience so far for week 1. Okay, why did I decide to go to Barcelona? I did hear from so many people saying that Barcelona is the mecca of dancing, the best place to be to learn bachata. So I decided, although I know no Spanish at all and I've never been to Barcelona, to just go there for 2 months and learn more about it. So how did I plan everything? I will start with the accommodation. So what I did was I searched for websites to look for a place to rent. At the beginning, I was not sure if I should get an apartment or a shared room with other people. There is a Spanish website which is called Idealista, or you can use Airbnb. In my case, I used Idealista at the beginning, but for me, it did take so long because people have to respond. That did take a lot of time. In the end, I just went with Airbnb. Airbnb can be a little bit more expensive, but I did save a little bit more time through Airbnb because it was much more convenient to book. Now, in the end, I decided to book a room instead of booking a whole place because I wanted to be with roommates that speak Spanish. That was the idea. In the end, I ended up in a 3-bedroom room with 2 other ladies that speak Spanish. So it was a pretty good idea to do. Okay, something very important. I did decide to rent next to a metro. The metros here are really good. I live in a Clot. It's not in the city center. It's at the outskirts of the city. It's not so touristic, so for me it was perfect. I have multiple metros and buses, so for me it was the right choice to do. Okay, so what about the dancing experience? I did ask before coming here, where should I go to, which school should I go, which people should I get private classes to regular classes. I just knew a guy that lived in Barcelona, which I actually met in a festival in El Sol. And I already have taken some online classes, and he did suggest me to go to the BS Dance Academy. This is the school from Cork and Judith. The only problem is that during September they're in holiday. I didn't know that. So their classes start in the end of September. So what I did was I did take until now 2 private classes from Aitor, which I highly recommend. So if you're a person that really wants to take his bachata into the next level, go to him. He does think about the details and he's really direct. I also went to his regular classes. The only thing is the regular classes are in Sabadell, and Sabadell is by metro and train around 50 minutes away. Aitor was actually kind enough to even pick me up from the train station, bring me to the dance school, and then bring me back. So that was great service. Okay, so the plan is that in the upcoming weeks, when the BS Dance School opens, to go to the regular classes and continue private classes with Aitor. If you're interested, that's his IG. Okay, what about the parties? The nice thing in Barcelona is that you have every day a party unless it's a Monday. And the not so cool thing is that the parties are scattered around. So you may find multiple parties during a day. The biggest parties are on Friday and Sunday. On Friday they are organized by Gachimba. This party is so far away that you can only go by car. You can use the train, but you will need around 2 hours. So for me, this is shit. I wouldn't do that. Okay, and the next big party is on Sundays, which I highly recommend. It's again a little bit outside the inner city, but it's amazing, which is in Badalona. And Badalona is again not in the city center of Barcelona, it's a little bit at the outskirts. You can go there with a train. The parties that are organized on Sundays are organized from Essencia Nights. You can again find in Instagram. What about the other parties? So for example, Essencia Nights organizes other parties during the week and on Saturday within the city. So you can go there everywhere by metro. So this is perfect. Kichimba also organizes parties, but again, they are quite far away. Some other IG profiles that I would recommend you to go and follow, because there are some other parties at Dios Club, are the Bachata Nights BCN. By all means, when you go to the parties, try to be friendly and meet some new people. And of course, if you make some contacts, then they might recommend you something else, and so on and so on. How has it been the experience so far at the park? So I live in Munich, and in Munich everyone was telling me Barcelona is amazing for dancing. Oh my god, the dancers are amazing. And I thought, okay, like the level here is gonna be 10 times better than in Munich. I went there, of course, the dancers are better, but not that amazingly better. Maybe in the future my experience is gonna be much better, but for me, I was expecting so much more. I think that the level could have been better, although to be fair, this is something that I didn't know. Usually teachers don't go just like that to parties. Teachers usually go to parties when they get booked. So don't go with expectation that, okay, I will go to a party and all the teachers are going to be there. No, this may happen, and this happened to me, but not every night. Also, something about the parties which is really cool, and I didn't know that, the entry fee for the parties is quite cheap. You might pay around 10 to 12 euros, and this includes a workshop and 1 or 2 drinks and the party. So this is amazing. And the workshops might be from international artists. So keep this in mind. This is really good. Also, something super important. Don't lose your mind about going to every party. You don't have to do this. I'm staying here for 2 months, so there has been times which I was so tired that I just decided to sleep. Because the crazy thing about going to parties are, parties here start much later at night. Also during the week. Parties start at 11:30, at 12, and they go until 3, 4, 5 in the morning. And this during the week. So this is crazy. I wouldn't lose my mind. If you can go every day to a party, don't do it. I, for example, I'm staying here for 2 months and I don't want to burn myself out. And in the end of the day, for me at least, going to the parties is to have a little bit of fun in the first place, but it's not really training. I can go there and I can train some moves for the first 2 hours, and then usually I'm too tired and I just have fun. Don't go to every party, I would suggest, and you will be fine. What about the Spanish experience? How does it feel being here, not being able to speak in Spanish? I mean, I can barely speak in English, so right. So first of all, I decided to take some Spanish classes in a physical location. So I decided to go to a school here in Spain in the city center, because I didn't want to take online classes. I'm a software engineer and usually I stay in the home, and I thought I will pick a Spanish school in the city center, so then I can walk around the city, because the city is really beautiful. As usual, I went to Google, start searching for some schools, but a friend actually did recommend me a school which is called Speak Easy. It's next to the Plaza de Catalunya, and it was next to the metro. I booked for a 20-hour per week intensive course, so I would go every day from 9 to 1 and try to learn Spanish with the most beginners. And of course, you will be in there with people that you might not vibe, but my thought was go there in the city center at the school, and then in the end just walk in the city, which is what I usually would do. Actually, what I did was I was going by metro, and then I would just grab a bicycle, because you can use either Bolt or Donkey something, and then I will drive back home with a bicycle. So for me, this was perfect. Of course, it is a little bit frustrating not being able to communicate in Spanish, like going to the grocery, at the supermarket. You just stand there like an idiot and you're like, I don't know what to say. It is frustrating, but you just have to get a little bit uncomfortable and try to somehow speak. Of course, because when you're also at the parties and you want to talk to some people, a lot of Spanish people do not speak English. So also if you need to flirt, or for example, you somehow need to talk to Spanish, and you can be passionate with the hands, but you also need to speak the language. So don't be shy, try to make mistakes, because this is how you learn. By the way, about speaking Spanish, choosing a location and not staying alone. So I had the great experience on a Saturday night that a roommate did invite her friends. I had to almost speak only in Spanish with my little broken Spanish. It was amazing, it was so much fun. But this is like an experience I would never have had if I would live somewhere on my own. So keep this in mind. And of course, like staying with Spanish speaking people, this is so much fun. I also did learn some great phrases that probably I would never have learned staying alone. What else would I recommend about visiting the city? So I went to 2 museums until now. The art museums here are insane. I really love the art, and I'm not an art guy. Just go on a Sunday or on a day that you have time. So I went to this museum. I think it is like the National Museum of Barcelona. I might be wrong. I don't know. It's fine. The classical art was amazing. Like really amazing. Then we went to a part of this museum which was only for the modern art, and it was shit. It was horrible. I was like, we have to go back in time. Because the art nowadays, for me, for my taste, it looks cheap. I almost forgot something super important. So how am I being able to just travel here? So what I did is, well, I'm a software engineer, so I can work remotely. And what I did was, I did take for the first 2 weeks holiday, so I can get accustomed to Spain. Because I'm a professional, I still want to be able to work well and still want to be able to deliver in my work. So what I did was, first 2 weeks holiday, get accustomed to it, get accustomed to the living here. And what I also did was, I went and bought furnitures for the remote work. So I just went to the IKEA website, bought a big desk because I need a big desk, and I also brought my monitor from home. So actually I put my monitor in the luggage, I wrapped it really well so it doesn't break, and I brought it with me. Okay, something super important to get accommodated and feel like home. Go to the gym. Like, I went 3 times to the gym within 5 days. And because I wanted to feel like being at home and being in a routine, pick a gym. Pick a gym that is close to you, pick a gym that has all the things you need, and go to the gym. So as a dancer, don't underestimate going to the gym. This is super important. I see that like in the dance floor, people that are so unhealthy and try to do the most crazy moves. You can't do that. Go to the gym. Also, if you think, yeah, but I don't know, what should I do? There are so many videos in YouTube also targeted to dancers. Do that. Do shoulder mobility, do hip mobility, do ankle mobility. My ankles and hips are shit, but I go to the gym and I do that. And do some strengthening. Do some exercise for your posture. Like, if you go to dance, like most of the guys are like this. Don't make excuses. Go to the fucking gym. Don't be a lazy pig. Do it. If you need some tips about dancing and going to the gym, just leave a comment below and I might do a video about this in the future. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You might find me in IG. I'll leave a link below under Giorgio's Salon. See you soon.